Look at this weed I have. So high I just got to laugh. How did our eyes get so red? Must have been the blunts we took to the head. And this is where I used to buy weed. It would have everything that I need. It had all the latest strains. Spend the day baking my brain. I swear I get so fucking high. Smoked a ton and never did I die. Criminal record for blazing doobies. And looking through your mom's window to see her boobies. I wonder if they still sell pot. And the daughter was kinda hot. I wonder if she's legal now. And if she would drink a roofie down. Oh God, I got tons of memories of getting baked. Even though some were lost in the haze, it's time to say it, I have to say it. I was so high, I got tons of memories of getting high. Spending most of my time on cloud nine, it's time to say it, I have to say it. I got so high. Oh man, I remember those days. I was pretty fucking high. It's kind of the point of the song, you know? I remember that one smoke session. It truly was a stoner Jesus blessing. The cops could smell it a mile away. I haven't run that hard since that day. We used to have to hide to smoke. Now we chill in the studio and toke. We said someday it'll be legalized. Don't be worried about hiding the red in our eyes. Met Mary Jane when I was 16. Ever then she's been my queen. I've been hitting that every night. That bitch is out of sight. Oh Jesus, I got tons of memories of getting baked. Even though some of them were lost in the haze, it's time to say it, I have to say it. I was so high, lots of memories of getting high. Spending most of my time on cloud nine, it's time to say it, I have to say it. I got so high, fucking high. It's pretty fucking high, yo.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Welcome, everyone. Stoner Jesus Show Live, Chapter 6, Verse 31. As you saw, a lot of good shit going on tonight. It is a Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. It's May 2nd, 2023. Tried to do the show Sunday night. Basically, I'm going to do the show that I was supposed to do Sunday night tonight. All the same shit. The voicemail from St. Peter, the return of weed news, all that stuff. As you can see there on the screen, your mom's veg can be found in full display at stonerjesus.net. So go check that shit out. Has some issues, tech issues Sunday night. Happens a lot. I mean, I'm not going to lie. As I said many times before, the technology that allows me to do this is amazing. But also, it makes me its bitch, every now and then. And Sunday night was one of those nights. But tonight, I believe we're live on Twitter, Twitch, and on YouTube. So that's awesome. Go share, retweet, all that good shit. As I said, the return of weed news tonight. We got stories from Minnesota, Oregon, federal story, a few other things. I've gotten away from weed news for a long time. That's why it's hence the return of weed news. Used to be a very integral part of the show. I'm going to make it be that way again. The problem was and is, I've become very disillusioned with legalization. And long story short, the short bullet point on the whole thing, we'll get deeper into it as the show goes on and in future shows. Legalization is going to be shit. It's going to be highly taxed, highly regulated, watered down, restrictions, and all that shit out the fucking wazoo, as the kids say. And it's going to be watered down fucking garbage, but we're all going to be like, hey, that's cool because it's better than prohibition. There'll be some stores, maybe some places you can go in and buy weed, and that's cool. But it's never going to be what it should be. It's never going to be the same as alcohol. Maybe not in my lifetime. I mean, I don't know about your lifetime if you're younger than I am, which most people are, but it's just not going to fucking be what it should be. Most of the potential of the legalization of marijuana is going to be squandered. And we're all going to be happy because prohibition's gone, so we get to buy some legal weed, and that's cool, even though it costs a fucking lot, and the quality's not that great. And, shit's it could change tomorrow. You never know. But hey, it's better than prohibition. The black market will still exist. There'll be still millions of people who go to their guy to get their shit because it's better, it's cheaper, it's easier to get. Their guy is more reliable, whatever. But having said that, on the flip side of that, there's not a lot of big shows. Not that I consider myself a big show. I do have a fairly large Twitter account, which, and my impressions and stuff are getting better under the Elon regime and the way I've been doing things. Hopefully they'll continue to do so. No longer spitting into the wind so much, as they say, or pissing into the wind. That's the line. I guess I'd rather get hit with spit and piss. Use my own piss. But I digress. The point is the return of weed news, and the reason for it is there's not a lot of people talking about this. A lot of podcasts are just, and I know there's millions of podcasts, and it's a fucking generalization, but it's a lot of bickering back and forth with each other. And look, I used to do the podcast war shit back in the day and the radio's war shit back in the day and all that. That was fun. But I'm fucking old. So I'm going to do my show and go to sleep at a reasonable hour after smoking some weed. That's all I want. But I feel that at least these issues, or my perspective on these issues, should get some sort of hearing. And what better way than at the Stoner Jesus show, because it's my fucking show and I can do what I want. And that's the key. So weed news tonight, the return. How often we do it, I don't know. Depends on my mood. We'll see. Hey, you want to call into the show? You can. If you're watching live, that's right. Find the StreamYard call-in link on Twitter at StonerJesus420. You see it there, scrolling along the bottom, what you're supposed to do. There's a StreamYard call-in link on my Twitter right now. Go click it. You'll be put backstage of the show, and I'll bring you on, and we'll shoot the shit for a minute and take a rip or whatever, and that'll be your 15 minutes of fame or whatnot. So do that. It's no longer, unfortunately, the StreamYard link is no longer the duck with the headphones on. I thought that was cool. Apparently StreamYard didn't agree with me, so they changed it to some generic people. So find the generic StreamYard people, and call, bitch. Excuse me. So, still to come, as I said, the weed news. But first, we'll also play some more SoundCloud stuff. So I've uploaded some new stuff. The time St. Peter made meth. We'll do that later tonight. That was fun. Also, St. Peter's list of spring activities that you can do at home with your family or whatnot. That was, from what I remember, that was also pretty epic. So, not that I'm saying you should take his advice and do these activities, because I'm pretty sure, even though I don't remember any of the activities, I'm pretty sure you shouldn't do any of them because of St. Peter. Speaking of St. Peter, he left a voicemail. Jerry Springer died, and that spurred St. Peter into some sort of reminiscence mode. And we do like to do profiles in death. He mentions that in his own fucking backhanded asshole type of way that he has. Hold on. Not yet. So it's basically a profiles in death segment with St. Peter. People who have died, if one of us has a connection to them in some way, we tell that story on the show. It's been a long 2,000 years since the end of the New Testament. Myself and St. Peter have been up to a lot. And since St. Peter's not here anymore, he's been gone for a few years. He sends in voicemails. Somehow when someone dies and he thinks of a story, he'll call in and leave a voicemail and tell me about it. So without further ado, and I know some of you are clamoring for more ado, without any further of the ado, the aforementioned ado, St. Peter and his voicemail about the late, great Jerry Springer.
Hey, Jesus.
That's loud.
Hey, Jesus, what's up? I know it's been a while since I called in. like a voicemail or whatever. You never fucking answer your phone. Never ever answer your phone. Anyway, Jesus, I noticed that Jerry Springer died recently. I figured I'd call in and give you like a story from back in the day with Jerry Springer. I know you like stories about dead people or whatever for your dumb little show. If you're still doing that stupid fucking dumb little fucking monkey show you got to.
This is what I'm talking about. Completely fucking unnecessary dragging of the show. Just tell your fucking story, dude. I don't need it. I don't need all that extracurricular bullshit.
Went on or whatever. Stoner Jesus show. Fucking joke. Anyway, Jerry Springer. Yeah, story about Jerry Springer. Jesus, you know.
Yeah.
Did you know, Jesus, that I was on the Jerry Springer show in the early 90s?
I didn't.
Yeah, that's right. You may remember, Jesus, those episodes they used to do with like the KKK guys. Like the KKK guys would like someone would come out in their hoods or whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, I was like chilling outside like a studio one day. Well, that's a lie. I was outside the studio in like the alley one day trying to like score some pills. Wasn't that much luck scoring some pills, but like one of these producers came out and he saw me. He was like, "Hey, you want to make like $50?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'll make $50. It's like $50 worth of pills." You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So anyway, I was like, yeah, I'll do that shit. So he took me into the studio and he put a KKK outfit on me in a robe. He said, "We ran out of KKK guys. We like need more like for the stage or whatnot." So you know, that's what I did. I put on the KKK outfit, went out there, and I went on stage as a KKK guy who like hated black people or whatever. There's like 4 or 5 of us in the robes and the hoods and whatnot, and people, man, Jesus, people hated us. They really hated us. They were like booing and hissing and shit. And like some black dude who was there to like argue with us or whatever. He threw a chair and like clipped me in the head. Would knock me slick the fuck out, Jesus. If you go back and you find the video on YouTube, I get hit with a chair and then I just like hit the fucking floor like a bricks. It was crazy, Jesus. Go look it up. It was the time I was on Jerry Springer as a KKK guy. Such like that story, Jesus. All right, yeah, fuck you, Jesus.
So there you go. St. Peter's reminiscence about Jerry Springer. I'll say a couple things. First of all, St. Peter's a known liar. I mean, that's just his. He's a well-known liar. He lies about a lot. But having known St. Peter for a very long time, as I said, it's been a long 2,000 years since the end of the New Testament. Having known St. Peter for a very long time, I believe that story. I believe all that happened. He was outside trying to score some pills. Jerry Springer, producer, dragged him in, put a KKK outfit on him to kind of fill out the stage. And he got knocked out when a black dude threw a chair and hit him in the head with it. I will look for that clip. I got to find it. It fucking sounds amazing. It sounds like the clip I should just play every show. At the beginning of every show, actually. That'll be the intro for the show. St. Peter in a KKK outfit getting hit with a chair and falling to the ground, as he said, like a sack of bricks. Definitely something to look forward to. Will I become obsessed with finding that clip? Maybe. I don't know. What's it to you? What's it to you if I spend hours upon hours looking for that clip on YouTube? Not my mom. Hey, you want some seeds? That's right. I got the hookup. I got what you need. Son. Coastal Mary. Seeds. Auto-flowering seeds. I swear, sponsors have to love these fucking commercials. Auto-flowering seeds, CBD seeds, feminized seeds from many different breeders and many different genetics. It's all at Coastal Mary. They usually have some sales going on, but if they don't, you can get 20% off anytime at coastalmary.com. All these are linked, of course, at stonerjesus.net with the codes. Use code stonerjesus20 to get 20% off at coastalmary.com. They're awesome. It's got a new edition. You get a 5-pack. There's a lot of the breeders and their cool-ass logos. Just Fucking amazing, man. Just go check it out. And use that code Stoner Jesus 20 to get 20% off at coastalmary.com. Also, don't forget, because I did, at least I forgot to put the promo code up earlier, Silk City Hot Sauce at Silk City Hot on Twitter. Use code SJ15 for 15% off and a free bottle of sauce. SJ15 for 15% off a free bottle of sauce at silkcityhotsauce.com. It's awesome. As I said, before we get into weed news, I do want to find some more St. Peter's stuff. We're going to go with St. Peter's list of spring activities because it's spring and you need some activities. I don't know. That's the best I got as far as a preamble to why you should listen to this. It's a clip from many years ago. Not many. I mean, I'm not fucking old. But several years ago, more than likely. Between myself and St. Peter, he always has these different lists. And they coincide with a lot of, holidays and seasons and whatnot. Because it's very easy to do. St. Peter's list of spring activities that you yourself can do. Weed news after that, Dick Nuggets. Stay tuned. Yeah, welcome back, everybody. Stoner Jesus Show Live. We have St. Peter in his little glass enclosure. As I mentioned before, after the little, I guess we'll call it a mishap. Really wasn't a mishap. I think it was all designed the way it was supposed to go, and it was bad. The whole cherry bomb between Peter's ass cheeks, and then lighting it on fire, and then it blowing up. And well, anyway, long story short, he's on a ton of painkillers, so he's like nodding in and out in there. And, the head intern put his headphones on him, and from what I understand, there's a lot of damage in the anal area. So basically, Peter is shitting into a bag or leaking into a bag. I don't know. I really shouldn't laugh. It's really very, very bad. But St. Peter does have certain obligations, and he made this list. I guess sometime this weekend before his unfortunate adventure with the cherry bomb. This is St. Peter's favorite spring activities. I'm going to go ahead and read the list, okay, Peter? Because you're kind of not with us completely.
Jesus.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Peter.
Oh,
I'll just read this list.
Oh, okay.
That's what we'll do. All right. St. Peter's favorite spring activities. One of them is called the booty nose. The booty nose.
Booty nose.
You follow. You find women in shorts and you follow them around, and you try to see how close you can get your nose to their booty before they notice. And I guess assume they would freak out. They'd probably just freak the fuck out if they found you trying to get your nose close to their booty.
Booty nose.
So for that reason, I wouldn't recommend the booty nose. Let's see what else we got here. This page. This is next one. This next one's not going to work either. It says St. Peter is going to be sunbathing on the roof of the Stoner Jesus Studio Complex. That's not going to happen.
No.
I'm vetoing that. For anybody listening to this, Peter, that's not going to happen. You're not going to be sunbathing on the Stoner Jesus. And I assume
it
would be nude. It would be nude sunbathing.
Yeah,
with tan lines and such. But
yes,
even if you're clothed, it's not. No.
Come on.
It's not going to happen.
Come on, Jesus.
Okay.
Come on.
Going on with St. Peter's list of spring activities. Okay. St. Peter. I got this next one. St. Peter pokes his head out of his basement of the Stoner Jesus Studio Complex, and if he sees his shadow, then he wears Daisy Duke's shorts for the next 6 weeks.
Shorts?
Again, these are all very unappealing things, Peter. You know what I mean?
Peter, shorts.
There's more in the back of this. So much. It's so much trouble. Why is it gotta be so much trouble? I mean, come on.
What?
What's this next one? Save snowballs in the freezer
and then you get them out and you throw them at people, and they won't see it coming because it's spring.
Yeah.
And then there's not snowball weather. There's no snow, but I guess if you hit them with a snowball, then they won't see it coming. I don't get the point of that.
Right. Yeah. Whip
What's the point of that, Peter?
them motherfuckers with the balls. Whip the balls.
Oh,
Whip the balls.
this is going well.
Whip those
This
motherfuckers.
is going well indeed.
Jesus.
What's this next one? Put
Yeah.
up spring break lights. They're empty 40-ounce bottles with lightning bugs trapped inside them. Spring break lights, like Christmas
Spring.
lights, but for like spring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
well,
This is brutal.
well,
This is brutal, Peter.
uh,
You sure you didn't write this after the painkillers kicked in?
what?
Anyway,
Hmm.
go to bars pretending to film girls' tits for the new big DVD Blu-ray series, Bitches Be Bonkers.
Bitches be bonkers.
You get a lot of chicks, Peter, to take off their tops so they can be part of Bitches Be Bonkers.
Ah, many titties, Jesus.
Peter.
Many titties.
Okay. Never mind.
What?
Never mind, man. Just I think it's nap time. It's nap time for Peter.
That's
That's St. Peter's list of spring activities.
Many titties.
You can try them or not.
Many.
Whatever.
Many titties.
I might try the Bitches Be Bonkers.
Bitches be bonkers.
Sounds promising. See some titties.
Promising
Jesus
titties.
Show Live.
Promising
More
titties.
comedy and music and all that great stuff. All the great stuff you've come to expect from the Stoner Jesus Show. Coming up.
No. What?
Dude, I remember some of that. Bitches be bonkers. That's one of those things that never came to fruition. That's a shame, because I would have watched that. It's like Meth Horror Island and a bunch of other stuff we did. Just didn't make it to screen. Shitting Wars. I don't know. It's almost enough to make me stop doing these things and thinking them up, but here we are. I don't think it's going to happen. In any case, it's time for Weed News. As I said, how long I stick with this, I don't know. This is everything about the cannabis legalization path has been disappointing. It just has. I mean, when you think about what it could be and look at what it is, all we ever needed was for it to be, as I said, as legal as alcohol. As legal as alcohol. You can go to a store and buy it. You can make it at home. You can go to a bar and drink some there. There's restaurants you can go, like Applebee's, Appleweeds. Go to Appleweeds, get some fucking appetizers, smoke some weed. But how long is it going to take for all that? At the pace we're going, which seemed fast at the beginning, but now it's clearly not. The state-by-state, watered-down, regulated, highly taxed bullshit that we're getting to replace prohibition is going to leave, one, the black market intact, and two, as I said earlier, it lulls us into this false sense of some sort of accomplishment because it's better than prohibition, at least on paper. It's not for the people who, a lot of people who stick with the black market. But in any case, this first story out of Minnesota. Minnesota Senate votes 34 to 33 to legalize recreational cannabis. This is CBS News, Minnesota.
Joining us, pot is one big step closer to being legal in Minnesota. In just the last hour, the Minnesota Senate passed its cannabis bill.
The legislation will allow adults 21 and older to buy, sell, and use marijuana. The House passed its own version of the bill on Tuesday. In the Senate, not a single Republican voted in favor of the bill, and they are sharing their concerns. John Lauritsen talked with people on both sides of the debate.
This bill simply is not ready.
With recreational marijuana as close as it's ever been to becoming legal in Minnesota, Senate Republicans took time to highlight their concerns that range from public health to public safety.
Number one, we don't have a reliable road test. That is key for driving under the influence.
GOP Senators Carla Nelson and Mark Johnson say they're worried law enforcement officers will have a harder time keeping roadways safe if a cannabis bill becomes law. They're also worried that increased marijuana use would lead to more substance abuse and that local governments won't have any control when it comes to regulating marijuana sales.
The reality is the implications of this particular bill that's up today on the Senate floor are very dire for the state of Minnesota, and it's not a joking matter.
Differences between the House and Senate bills have to do with taxes and possession. The Senate bill.
Okay, so I'll go through some of that. One, and you'll notice as time goes on, if you're new to the show, I have zero respect for politicians and their thoughts about things. This notion that some dickhead got some people to cast a vote for him and that makes him qualified to run my life and make decisions for me and knows better about making those decisions for my life than me, that proposition to me is fucking ludicrous. I dismiss it out of hand. It's fucking ignorant. To tell me that some fucking dude who was a dog catcher or a comptroller or some shit and got 200 people to vote for him in some fucking Minnesota district knows more about running the lives of those people in that district than they do is retarded. I'm sorry. I know I'm not allowed to use that word anymore. Fuck it. Fuck it. We're letting it fly tonight. It's retarded. And to say things like it's a dire situation, it's not. It's not at all. Most people are already smoking weed, bro. It's fine. It's fine. Same thing with the bullshit about the roads. And I know we're supposed to say, oh, you shouldn't smoke and drive. You know what? It's not the fucking same. It's just not. Look at whatever study you want to fucking look at. If you don't want to smoke and drive, that's up to you. But millions of people do it every day and they're just fine. They're just fine because it's not the same. It doesn't affect your reflexes and your ability to drive a vehicle the same as alcohol. Develop whatever test you want as an excuse to get a lot of people to get DUIs so you can make that fucking bread, fill those state coffers. But I'm sorry, it's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. Say what you will about that. I'm not encouraging people to smoke and drive, but you'll fucking be fine.
Allows for someone 21 or older to have 5 pounds of cannabis in their home. The House bill allows for 1.5 pounds.
Well, I think people who are opposed to cannabis legalization will say it's never ready.
Ryan Winkler is the chairman for Minnesota is Ready, a group that's been pushing for legalizing marijuana. He highlighted the positives of a potential cannabis law, including automatically expunging low-level cannabis convictions from people's criminal records.
This bill is ready, and Minnesota is ready for cannabis legalization. People know that adults can make responsible decisions for cannabis, and the system of prohibition that we have had for so long hasn't worked.
At the Capitol, John Lordson, WCCO News.
Now that the bill passed the Senate, it heads to a conference committee to iron out the differences before it goes to Governor Tim Walz. The governor just said that it is the right move for Minnesota, and he will sign it into law.
So there you go. That's what's going on in Minnesota. And it's like that in every state. If you look at the history of legalization from state after state after state, it's a lot of the same shit. The same objections, the pro-marijuana crowd saying the same things. The bottom line is this. If you're doing something as people who smoke marijuana, who use marijuana, who sell marijuana, who grow marijuana, those people are not infringing on the rights of anyone else. Therefore, what they are doing is not a crime. And it's as simple as that. You talk about the benefits of tax revenue or, how medical marijuana helps people, which it does. And all that's great. Helps people get off opiates, helps them with their, get away from big pharma, whatever. All that's good. All that's great. All that's true. But none of it fucking matters. Why you use marijuana, why you grow marijuana, why you sell marijuana should be no one's business. No matter what. But here we are. And it's going to drag on for years and years. You're saying, Stern, Jesus, what's your solution? You got you're listing a lot of fucking problems. What's your solution for all this? That's the problem. There isn't one. The government's in charge of legalization. That's the fundamental fuck up of the whole thing. The same people who made it illegal for nefarious and often racist reasons is in charge of reversing that decision. The same type of people, i.e. politicians, are in charge of rectifying the situation. People who are abjectly unqualified to make decisions for you, that's what legalization is. Every legalization bill is what decisions politicians are going to make for you. Because a legalization bill will never be, hey, it's fucking legal, that's it. There'll never be a bill that says, just take all the same rules for alcohol and put it on weed. It's not going to happen. They're going to nitpick every single step of the way. And what you end up with is garbage. Just fucking garbage. This story from AP. Why is that up there? No, get that shit off of there. AP, your website sucks. Marijuana job lands Oregon Secretary of State in trouble. Oregon Secretary of State Shemia Fagan is in hot water. Republican lawmakers calling for her resignation, and the Democratic governor seeking investigations because Fagan took a consulting job with a marijuana firm. Fagan released a statement late Friday saying she welcomed the governor's inquiry. Quote, I'm relieved that the government has asked DOJ and the Government Ethics Committee to engage in fact-finding because the facts will restore trust in our audits division and in me as your Secretary of State. The matter came to a head Friday after Fagan's office released an audit of the state's marijuana regulators, two of the state's marijuana regulators, the Oregon Liquor and Cannabis Commission. The audit called for the OLCC to reform some rules for marijuana businesses, saying that they are burdens when combined with federal restrictions on interstate commerce, banking, and taxation. Fagan recused herself, she's a Democrat, from the audit because she is a pay consultant of an affiliate of marijuana retail chain Lamota. Fagan spokesman Ben Morris said at a virtual news conference about the audit's release. Lamota's co-owner has hosted fundraisers for top Democrat Oregon politicians, including Fagan, while the co-owner, her partner, and their business allegedly owe $1.7 million in unpaid bills and more in state and federal taxes, according to Willamette Week, a Portland newspaper. So there's the appearance, obviously, of impropriety, which is yet another problem of the government being charged in legalization. Because when the government's in charge of shit, you can just, pay them off. You can just get them in your pocket. It's the same as anything else, whether it's a scientist or anybody else. Politician, a law enforcement officer, you get them on your side. And since they have all the power, well, that's fucking awesome. That's the shit. So what legalization ends up being is the people who have some sort of leeway to sell, grow, things of that nature, they're going to be connected people. Same way it is with any other business. Because the government has the power, and that power can be bought. It just can't. Because they're human beings. Politicians are, and for the most part, they're a lower form of human being because they've decided that politicians is going to be what they're going to do. People who pick that occupation in general tend to be more power-hungry, sociopathic people. I mean, and corruption is there. There will be corruption because the government's in charge and they can be bought. Excuse me. While I rip this bong. So that's what's going on in Oregon. I think there was an update recently that, I don't know, she's admitted wrongdoing. I have no idea. I don't care. See, that's the problem. I don't give a shit. Coming up from a New York Times story, needing younger workers, federal officials relax rules on past drug use. I don't want to fucking... God, I got to sign in and fucking read a New York Times story. Just... Really? No, I don't want to subscribe. I want this one fucking story, you bitch. Oh, God, it's another. You've reached your limit of free articles, so I can't read this? Is that what you're saying to me? I cannot read this fucking article. You know what? Fuck you. We're not reading the one about federal workers. Fuck you, New York Times. I'm not putting up with that shit. You pay for that? Fuck you. Pay for the New York Times. I'd rather pay for something else, less appealing. That's right, you heard me. Sorry I had to go there. First, before we do that, because that last bonger pretty much, fucked me up, my throat-wise. Anyway, we're going to have St. Pierre Makes Meth. Yeah, that's right. Why, you ask? I don't know. It's on the fucking SoundCloud. What do you want from me? More weed news, as I said, coming up. Patients celebrate Georgia opens a medical marijuana dispensaries, and also cannabis tourism in Michigan. All that shit coming up. Stay tuned. Dick Nuggets.
Hello, Peter. Please, have a seat. Peter, do you know why I've called you to this meeting?
Not really, Jesus. I was actually in the middle of something. I was in the middle of masturbating, if you must know. So I don't know what the...
Never mind that.
Okay. What?
I've called you to this meeting.
Yeah.
To tell you a few things about what's really going on around here. I noticed yesterday that you were... saw you taking a lot of equipment to the RV we have parked out back.
Oh, you mean the helicopter, the Stoner Jesus helicopter?
No, I mean the RV.
What?
As our fans know, and as any normal, logical, non-brain dead person would know, what you know as the Stoner Jesus Show helicopter is in fact just an old RV with a helicopter propeller attached to the top of it.
Oh my God!
That's what it's always been.
What about all the trips that I made in the helicopter, man? I was flying all over the place, man.
All the trips were just you riding in an RV with
oh my God! Oh my God! The lies! The lies!
Well. Settle down there because there's more.
Oh my God! What else?
As I said, I saw you carrying a lot of equipment into the RV. A lot of chemical equipment, a lot of beakers and flasks and things like that.
Yeah. So what?
And I also know that you've been watching non-stop episodes of Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah, great
these
show.
Last few days.
Great show.
So it didn't take a genius to put two and two together, figure out you were going to try to make meth. The quote-unquote helicopter behind the Stoner Jesus studio complex.
Can't believe you fucking lied to me, Jesus. Betrayed.
I had one of the interns replace the several pages that you printed out on making meth off of the internet. I had to enter and replace those with pages
I don't understand.
of instructions on how to make shampoo.
Shampoo?
Yeah, see, I wasn't going to let you make meth right behind the fucking studio for many reasons. One is bring the DEA right to us. We got the whole, the Fight Club thing downstairs. We don't want anyone to see. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So,
what?
I had him replaced. I'm not gonna let you blow us all up because you are so stupid. You don't know how to make meth.
I'm betrayed.
Give me a break.
I'm betrayed. Jesus.
And what were you gonna do with it when you made it?
I was gonna sell it.
Come on.
I was gonna sell it. I was gonna slang it on the corner.
So you
bitch
spent all night last night making shampoo.
Shampoo. I was wondering why it was so gooey. I thought it was supposed to be like hard and stuff.
Yeah. Shampoo is very, very gooey and liquidy, whereas meth is hard substance.
Man, I smoked a ton of that crap. I can't believe I didn't get high.
I'm sorry.
I was wondering why. I thought it was just bad stuff. I thought it was bad stuff. I was smoking that crap all night.
What?
This is,
What do you mean?
I mean, I
How?
was smoking it.
How do you smoke shampoo?
Well, I don't know, but I did, and it really gave me a headache. It wasn't very it wasn't very high at all.
In any case.
Yeah.
In any case.
Well, what? In case what?
This is what I'm telling you. One, don't try to make meth.
Well,
You fucking dumbass.
I think I would have been able to do it, Jesus.
Two,
Okay.
you really smell, dude.
What?
When's the last time you took
How
a
is
shower?
this germane to the
You
topic?
can't do the basic hygiene things that needs to be
How
done.
is this part of the topic at hand? I don't
This
understand.
is outrageous. This is outrageous. I will not stand for it.
Well, I don't know what I was doing. Is do then.
A man provides for his family.
What? What does it even mean?
Nah, I just thought I'd throw that in there.
Oh, God, I don't get it.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh,
Get the fuck out of here. Don't try to make
fuck
meth.
Fuck you, Jesus.
I'll have you whacked or capped, or I'll just push your ass down a flight of fucking stairs. I don't care. Get the fuck out of here, dumbass.
Bitch, you a bitch.
What an idiot. What a fucking idiot. Making meth. He can't remember his email password. He's going to make meth. What? Am I right? Where the fuck did everybody go?
Dude. There's so much about the history of the show that I've forgotten. One of those things. We get it. It's Breaking Bad. One of those things is the Stoner Jesus Show helicopter. Stoner Jesus Show helicopter, as we mentioned in the clip, was an RV. We put an old helicopter propeller on. We put St. Peter in it and make him believe that he was going from place to place when in reality we were just driving the RV around. I had completely forgotten about that. Such an integral part of the show's history. Thankfully it was recorded because it's lost to my memory forever. Well, not forever, I was just reminded of it. But if I would have been reminded of it by a clip that was recorded, I would never thought of it again, probably. It's sad. Mind, memory, it's a tricky thing. Especially when you're starting to get like super old like I am. You know. As promised, out of Georgia, patients celebrate as Georgia opens a medical marijuana dispensary after a long wait.
First legal medical cannabis dispensaries in Georgia opened their doors today. State officials approved licenses for facilities in Marietta and Macon, along with 3 other locations this week. Fox 5's Deidre Dukes was in Marietta, where patients and their families marked this historic day.
And look, as I said earlier, I may not have focused on it for long enough, but especially when it comes to things like medical marijuana, I'm not downing the effort that people put in to get us where we are when it comes to stuff like that. Obviously, millions of people in this country are helped every day because of medical cannabis. Despite whatever restrictions, regulations there are, the access to it is access they may not otherwise have. And those are all wonderful things. My point is the vast potential of legalization will never be met under these circumstances with the government in charge. It doesn't mean that some good will come. Some good will come. And overall, hopefully it'll be better in time than prohibition. But, until then, here we are.
It was an emotional day for patients and their families who waited 8 long years to be able to legally purchase medicinal marijuana in Georgia.
We have capsules, tinctures, topicals.
The wages were the first in line when the doors of this cannabis dispensary opened. The purchase of a box of medicinal cannabis oil cause for celebration for these parents.
I don't really compare this to a monetary value, but we just hit the lottery.
It's been legal for registered patients to possess and use the THC oil in Georgia, but there was no place to legally buy it until now. Earlier this week, the state approved licenses for 5 dispensaries, marking the end of a long battle for the wages their 19-year-old daughter Sydney and other parents of medically fragile children who lobbied for nearly a decade to bring medical cannabis to Georgia.
We never gave up, but we were
Lobbied for nearly a decade. This is what I'm talking about. Why? Why? Why should these parents have to go through all of that just to give their child some medicine? 8 years. 8 years to get dispensaries. It takes them fucking 8 minutes to vote on a pay raise. But 8 years to decide that something's legal, by the way, that they've legalized, can be sold. Think about that for a minute. It took them 8 years to decide that something that was legal could be sold.
Discouraged a lot of times. There've been a lot of times we've left Sinai at the Capitol crying. Our group, which is out here today, they're our brothers and sisters, they're family.
And these groups from many states. Kentucky has a group like that, medical marijuana. Kentuckians for medical marijuana. They go down to the Capitol every year, go through the whole thing. Had a lot of success this year, more success than most years, but it's something they've been doing for, like these people, about a decade.
Some of those families among the crowd at the ribbon cutting ceremony at True Leaf Cannabis Dispensary in Marietta. They'll sell low THC oil to registered patients suffering from severe seizures.
And that's all that's available. After all that, low THC oil. That's it. That's what the powers that be have decided that they will be allowed.
Parkinson's, and terminal cancer. Since the first Georgia law allowing patients to consume medicinal marijuana passed in the Georgia legislature, there have been lawsuits, political debates, and disputes over who will be allowed to grow and sell it. State Representative Devin Seabow was on hand for the dispensary opening and says it's a long time coming.
I'm a paramedic by trade, and I've seen how this helps people, especially these kids with seizures.
For those who will now have legal access to the oil, the facilities are a godsend.
We've been waiting on it since 2011, and we're looking for some relief with this product.
In Marietta, Deidre Dukes, Fox 5 News.
The sad thing is imagine what things would be like if it had never been made illegal in the first place. Go back 85 years or whatever, 86 years. It's never legal, never made illegal. Imagine where the cannabis industry would be now. Think of any other legal industry, how big it is, how easy it is to buy, whatever, what have you. But again, who fucked that up? Government. In collusion with various corporate entities. The same people in charge of legalization now. So one of the things I hate about discussing these things is I come across as so cynical because I am, I guess. I mean, by definition, I'm very cynical of this whole process. It's an interesting story from the Detroit Free Press. Cannabis tourism in Michigan is a real thing. Here's what to know, where to stay. So this, when I think about the future, this is kind of the one that gives me some kind of hope, is that this will be more normalized. You know, there'll be hotels or like cannabis friendly or tourism spots or whatever. Restaurants, bars, cannabis friendly places where you can go and smoke some fucking weed and not have to worry about it. Just like you can go drink a fucking beer. Again, sorry, it was bong ripping time. I couldn't be postponed any longer. Anyway, as people, the article says, start to make their summer travel plans. There are a growing number of options for travelers to Michigan to consume marijuana on vacation, from cannabis music festivals to consumption lounges and cannabis-friendly lodging. While the number and variety of options available to travelers since marijuana became legal in 2018 are increasing, the cannabis travel industry is still early in its days. There are no Pure Michigan, which is the state of Michigan's tourism campaign, commercials advertising cannabis tourism in the state. Recreational cannabis sales began in Detroit at the start of this year, but Visit Detroit is just starting to explore its strategy around cannabis and tourism. According to a spokesperson, one popular town in northern Michigan for tourists, Traverse City, recently issued 16 licenses for recreational marijuana. While recreational marijuana will be available for purchase in Traverse City this summer travel season, it doesn't mean the city's Visitors Bureau is rushing to promote it. mainly due to the restrictions on where it can be consumed. And that's advertising, things like that is going to lag behind always the political side and the economic side, especially when it comes to state-sponsored entities. And again, I haven't mentioned in this episode, I don't think, but I've mentioned it many times before, the specter of federal prohibition still hangs over everything. And that's another problem that needs to be remedied. How long that'll take, I don't know. I mean, as far as President of the United States goes and shit like that, it's just going to be one doddering old fool after another. Same thing with the Senate and the House and the people in the power. They're just decrepit, old, useless fucking people. And that's at best, they're useless. At worst, they're doing active harm to the lives of the people in this country. Yes, I know. Hi, FBI, NSA, what the fuck ever. I know. But man, fuck, man. Evil fucking pricks. So anyway, my point is, hopefully in the future, things like, and they talk about the Michigan Cannabis Trail being like the wine trail, and people they take tours that are involving cannabis and just cannabis-friendly places all over the place. How long that'll take, I don't know. A very long time, maybe. Will I be alive to see it? I don't know. Not as old as I look. But I'm not exactly, a whippersnapper. I'm old enough that I use words like whippersnapper. All right, I want to thank everybody for checking us out. Go check out StonerJesus.net. Not only as the graphic points out, your mom's veg is there, but also promo codes, past episodes, things of that nature, history of the show, all kinds of cool shit. Stoner Bible, which I haven't worked on in a long time, but that's fine. I'm a very important person. I got important things going on, so I can always be working on shit like that. Thank you for continuing to spread the word about StonerJesus.net. We'll be back Sunday night in our regular time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, hopefully, with a very special drinking show. Stay tuned to my Twitter for more information on that. If you're on Twitch and YouTube or whatever and you're watching us, make sure you fucking share the show. Come on, bro. Cost you nothing. Do that shit. Peace, bitches.